Well, it's about the time that. Hold on. Almost, but not quite. Just get my pigeons all lined up. Hold on. Pop that out. This now can get out of my life. And I gotta do it this way. There we go. I don't need that going. Yep, that thing can get out of my life. Ugh. I can get rid of that. That can get out of my life. So can that. That can go too. So can this. And definitely that. Along with you. Don't know who that is. That can get out of my life. Same with that. That can go. Okay, dokie. I think I got everything that needs to be out of my life. Okay, dokie. There to go. Okay then. So one more thing. I'll plug this in. But yeah. I'm still waiting for that website to actually approve having the Seduction of Shadows Oracle finally be put on the marketplace for them. Yeah, I'm still waiting on that for I don't know why, but okay, well, make me wait even longer for whatever reason. Just gotta love it when they do that for no apparent reason. Because I mean, I don't think it. Oh, whoops! I don't think it would take this long just to hit. Oh, you want to sell this? Approved. But gotta love when people Twitter. Hello, Latif. Is that how you? I hope that's how you say it. So yeah, I'm waiting for that thing to get approved. If it takes too long, well then I'll just improvise by just having it. I don't know how I'll improvise it, but I'll figure it out somehow. Yeah, yeah. Last time you probably saw me was when I was not 30, but now I am 30. What's up? Well, if I had to say what's actually up is the fan going around and around and around. Like, yeah, and that reminds me of I have a Amazon gift card that I need to be using up to, but then again, I don't even know what I want because most of the stuff that is on Amazon is kind of like, oh, none of the stuff I wanted from last year is there anymore. So it's like, up as long as you're here. If you really want to have a good laugh, let's bring in the spirit box because usually everybody has a good laugh when the spirit box gets involved. So let me just double check everything. Okay, three, two, one. Commence the spirit box. Yep, I will. Oh, hold on. Okay, spirit, but we've been through this before, Cupcake. Don't interrupt. Listen, Cupcake. Don't interrupt me when I'm talking, okay? Good. Got it? Yes or no? Yes or no, Cupcake? Do you understand? That's not an answer. Do you understand? Not to interrupt me when I'm talking. Yes or no? Yes or no? I'm waiting. Do you understand? Yes or no? That's not an answer. You have to say yes or no. Do you understand? Not to interrupt me when I'm talking. Do you understand? Yes or no? And yes, Ladif, I will. Just let me know. Do you want a cupcake? I wasn't talking to you. Don't be rude and interrupt and butt in. Do you want tarot, oracle, astrology? Which one? You answer my, answer my question. Do you understand? Not to interrupt and be rude. Yes or no? What is it? What does your question involve? Ah, that's not an answer, Ghost. I said yes or no. Do you understand? Not to interrupt and be rude. Yes or no? Yeah, no, but after Latif because he asked first. Life and your and my fourth, like what's coming towards you, fourth or fourth what? Okay, got it. Just scooch this out of the way. It's like the seduction of shadows wants to come out first. So let's see here. Cupcake, you didn't give me an answer yet. Do you understand? Not to. Hey, you want to play? You want to play games, Cupcake? Because now's not the day to be playing games with me, honey. Oh, really? Do it again. See what happens. Don't embarrass yourself. Do you want to be embarrassed in front of a live studio audience? Do you really want to do that? Really? Okay, Cupcake. Hold still. Give me just a second. Hold on. Let's see. Nope. Nope. I warned you and you didn't listen. Now you're trying to be a smartass. So guess what? You get to have the Shungite and the Apophyllite drop right on top of your head. So there you go. Let's see how you like it. Now, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted. So let's see. What can the Seduction of Shadows give for Latif for his life and force? So we'll go with one. We'll have one card go for one, and then we'll have another card go for the other. Oh, what's wrong, spirits? What's wrong? You can't say anything now, can you? Oh, that's a shame. Life sucks. Maybe you should have learned to keep. Maybe you should learn to keep your mouth shut and not be rude and think you're a smartass. True story. This is the just for educational reasons. This is the kind of like demeanor and how you have to pretty much handle and carry yourself when interacting with spirits like this. When they start hissy fitting and start, disrespecting you, well, okay, you play hardball with them, and now they're completely silenced. There's one for life. And oh, that's a good one. Okie dokie. I'm just gonna pull two from the Tarot V, which is like Tarot Vampires, but different. And then I'll pull another one from the Goetia Tarot Darkness after pulling two from here. Yes, that was the guidebook. I just did that too. So what? Don't look at me like that. Actually, before I do a poll, let me take 4 cards out in here that are not going to be of help if I draw them. Here's one of them. Another one. Yeah, only one. Oh, there. Okay, all 4 of them have been found. I'm going to get that out of my life. Okay, now. Okay, so the Goetic that'll be the most helpful altogether regarding your life. So essentially, throughout the whole existence of your life on this lovely rock called Earth, the one that'll be the most helpful will be okay. And the one that's going to be helping you into the near future or immediate future, like the one that'll be helpful during the incoming time. Ooh. Oh. Taking it for the tippity top. So currently, regarding life as it stands right now, the card from the Seduction of Shadows Oracle that came out is the card Glamour. So currently, your life has been either facing a lot of situations where you have to put on a mask or you have to put on an illusion to have you pretty much play off something else, or you have to be pretty much changing how another individual perceives you, or you're trying to keep something about you veiled or pretty much left not fully understood. But pretty much this is showing that you have to be more willing to put on a disguise or put on a veil over yourself in a way that's a lot more drastic than some people would expect, or be putting on a veil that people won't be looking at you as often. Meaning that, like, if you were to put on like a disguise or an appearance that would make you kind of fit in, to best put it, that might be what else it could be referring to. So pretty much the life, like your life altogether, has to have this involvement of being able to change. Hey, Anand, it's been thousands of years, I know. But with that being pretty much the focus, life focus, being able to flow in and out of keeping yourself undercover. The reason behind it, well, then here we go again. We have the Eight of Cups, and then we have the Ten of Blades. So, firstly, the Eight of Cups. you can kind of see with this depiction, you see the figure actually looking up blindly because in one eye, she's actually having her eye completely white that shows blindness. And she's looking up and she's like having blind devotion to something. So there might be something or a group of people or an authoritative figure that is expecting blind allegiance from you. And if you don't have this blind allegiance, it'll actually come about and turn on you and then pounce on you in a way that can be really hazardous to yourself. So that right there shows that are you possibly somewhere. I'm going to take a shot in the dark. Are you somewhere in the world where there's a lot of religious extremism going on and you're not allowed to be exactly how you want to be? You're not allowed to put yourself as you are forward because of just how the environment around you is, or just how like your upbringing is, or how your immediate family is, your friendship circle, your education facility, anything along those lines. Because if so, this is kind of exactly where you need to really put on your A game on how you present yourself to actually make yourself fit in a lot more than usual to get through the time at hand. Ah, okay. No, the and the Goetic divine that actually came out to pretty much give you the best support throughout pretty much your whole life is Marbus. I'm using right now a combination of Tarot V, Goetia, the Goetia Tarot, and my Seduction of Shadows Oracle. But for the Goetic Divine that came out is Marbarus. And Marbarus, one of the little known things about Marbarus is that he's actually able to help you infiltrate and hack into things and actually be able to hack into anything that's like computer science, anything mechanical related. And best of all, Marbarus can also teach you how to infect something, like infect a computer with a virus or malware, and also be able to help you cure it at the same time. And that also does include medicinal things too. So possibly, maybe one of your best ways of making sure that you keep yourself hidden is to actually learn the ideas of hacking, infiltrating, and infecting some like or find workarounds. Well, there you go. Marbers is actually a really good one to help with that too. But also because since Marbers excels at the what's that called? It's like Marbers excels at like the mechanical, like the fine tuning parts, like those very small things that make a whole. Kind of like how like a cogwheel is a part of like a clock that makes the clock go. The, like understanding how the cogwheel turns and how it makes something move forward and it makes the clock move forward. That's what Marbarus excels at, like understanding the minuscule parts of something and having them come together to make it work. So you actually might you're I'm just gonna go with how it's gonna sound cheesy, but this is what I'm just gonna go with. Possibly what your life focus may actually be is to actually use this web development and being able to make like VPN points or other points so people can actually get out of them. Yeah, or it'd be right after what's his name earlier after Omnipotent because he was here before you, but actually having your life focus be that of helping others be able to bypass like the censored the censored material that the governments do block from the people getting to. You actually might be part of helping people get information that they need that is not being blocked from. Or even if you want to be extra daring, I mean, I'll hold your wine glass. learning how to actually hack into government websites or hack into government operations that are actually spying on people and completely dismantle them and kind of like tripping up the government. Heck, I mean, if you don't get caught, I mean, they can't catch you if you know that they can't find out who you are. They can, take you out. They can't chase after you if you've been bamboozled. So, really consider going towards Marberus, and all really, if you want to connect to Marberus, all you really need is a lion-headed figure, and pretty much just interact with it and speak to it as if it was Marberus, and just ask him, "What can you give me to help break into codings and languages and regarding computers and things of the sort to help me be able to break out of this BS that this government's doing?" Because if the number one priority of the government always should be to support the people. I'm gonna grab my drink over yonder. Hold on. Because when you have the government actually doing what it's supposed to do, which is support the people and do what's best for the people, and not be religious fanatics. Marberus, no, pretty much Marberus. He appreciates one who is actually willing to be patient and learn the fundamentals of the subject that he's involved in. Because if you understand the fundamentals of a certain subject, then you can pretty much master it in no problem, like no time whatsoever. But then again, I would have to say Marberus is more Mercurian. So he will give you a lot of information. So make sure you're able to keep up with it. But because Marberus being Mercurian, he's actually really understanding and he keeps you in the know, if that makes sense. But now for what's coming towards you in the future, we have the Exaltation card. And the depiction actually has Lilith standing on top of the world in a black nightgown with black wings, and she's looking right at you. And she has one leg forward, and she's kind of doing a twist towards you, thinking like, "What? Well, you never seen a woman in her power before? What are you, jealous? I'd be mad too if I wasn't this high up. Come on now." So coming towards you is actually you're going to be in a position where you're going to be acting from your highest dignity, meaning that you won't have any major obstacles, and anything that does come towards you to try and block you or prevent you from going where you want to go, it's just going to completely just go out the window and have no effect on you because you're in your highest dignity. And in this exaltation point, you may at first feel like you have no idea what to do, and you might feel like I'm all out here by myself, but in reality, you're the empress. You know, they say the most powerful figure in the monarchy is not the king, it's the queen. Because have you ever heard anybody telling the queen no and get away with it? No, 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 no. You don't tell the queen no because you lose your head. So, with this exaltation point, you're going to be having the power of the empress behind you. So, really, you're able to give the order and you have the final say in how you carry on about like the life focus that you have and what you're planning on doing or wanting to do. And the supporting Goetic divine, well, this one's absolutely one of my absolute favorites. I adore him. Is the one and only Marquis Andres. Now, Marquis Andres, a lot of people will say, "Oh my gosh, he's the one that kills people. He's the one that murders the magician and his assistants." Well, if you piss him off, then yes, he will. But Marquis Andres is actually one of the most, if not most, committed and most devoted. And I'm just reading what the cards say. So, Marquis Andres is actually the most devoted, the most committed, one of the most committed and devoted. Because when you interact with Marquis Andres, whenever you speak towards him, for as long as you're speaking, he pretty much sits and does, well, he doesn't do precisely this, but to the effect, he goes and does something like this when you speak. And if you're wondering, well, what the heck does that mean? Well, when you speak, Marquis Andres listens. He doesn't interrupt, he listens to you, and he gives his full attention to you. He doesn't look away, he doesn't change the subject, he stays focused on you. Some people would get like, oh my gosh, that's freaky, he's just looking at me and watching my every move. Well, if you're not comfortable, of course, but he gives you his full attention, and he doesn't break his attention ever. So he actually shows that, hey, I'm being serious, I'm giving you my 100%, so you give me that in return. But since Marquis Andres is all about teaching how to pretty much take out something or attack or pretty much go after something that needs to have the wind knocked out of it, they can show that maybe Marquis Andres will help you get the fighting spirit or the inspiration to go after something and to cripple something that's holding you back. So really, it looks good. It's just be aware coming towards. You'll be in a position with a lot of energy to actually have what you want to have come about, and just have the energy of Marquis Andres push you forward. But other than that, you have the support of Marbus to help you with that web development endeavor. So, I mean, it really looks good to me. Just watch, just take note of every step you take. Just think before you move, because just of how the government can be sometimes. Just keep that in mind. Move slow and steady, but be calculative. Don't jump face first without thinking, okay, if I jump here, this might happen and this might happen. Always have your precautions ready before you take your first step. And even if you take your step, nothing happens, at least you're prepared. That's the big thing. Always plan 50 steps ahead than just the one step ahead. When you plan 50 steps ahead, you're always prepared for anything. At least that's what I see. So the next one would be, let me scroll all the way back up. The next one is omnipotent. And after omnipotent will be RB. RB. And I saw this question, and I saw like what this comment said. I can't really tell how to say the name, to be honest. So I don't know how to even attempt to pronounce it, but I see that it actually has Hell's rune in it, the Hagalas in it. So to kind of help you with been dealing with a curse. Well, now here's the thing. To give you a hand with dealing with a curse, and it doesn't matter, I don't care who's done it, what kind of school of magic has done it. I don't even care if it was God himself who put a curse on you. Oh God, not again. Seriously, that's how much of a, oh, that's cute, care I have none, I feel about, curses and afflictions like that. Because here, I'm going to tell you exactly what you can do to have it completely washed off of you. And it won't do anything else to you. So, taking it from the tippity top. Put these away real quick. So, first and foremost, in fact, you really even don't need anything. Actually, here, hold on. I'm going to change this out. So, when dealing with a curse, a plague, an affliction, or just what have you, anything that is deemed baneful, malefic, harmful, or something that is put onto you by someone else that is meant to cause harm to you, hex, curse, jinx, plague, generational curse, cares I have not. To put it simply, thanks, Latab. Okay, I got it. I got it. So I'm just gonna, to make it easier, I'm just gonna go by just saying, I'm just gonna call you Hagalos to make it easier, because that's how I know. So the best way to get rid of a curse. Okay, let's keep it simple. Let's use my art of bamboozling to fix it. Okay, here we go. And we're gonna play 20 questions while I'm shuffling this deck. So Agalas, I'm going to ask you some questions, or in fact, all of you can take part in it too. Oh, Ragnar. Okay. Okay, Ragnar. Okay, now I got it. So, Ragnar and everybody else, I want you to participate in answering the questions I'm about to give you. And yes, answer the questions. And here's another thing. All the questions that I ask, the answer has to be the same answer. So let's start. So, first question, and I'm dead serious. First question, whose head are you thinking with now? Like whose thoughts are you're thinking of? The thoughts in your head, who do they belong to? And yes, that's an honest question. And also don't make it complicated. Keep it simple. Whose head are you using right now? Whose head is this? Not well, it's funny, Ragnar, that's what you think, but I'm going to bamboozle you out of it. Whose head are you using right now to see with? Whose eyes are you using to see with? Keep it. Nope. That. Who does? Okay, now who does the body belong to? Who does this body belong to? Okay. Okay. And that person who I'm speaking to is you, right? But it is you. Are you sure? Because here's the thing. Hmm. Are you? Is there anything related to such as DID involved? Because if that's the case, then possibly I can understand that. But however, though, DID that is it is pretty much dissociative identity disorder, which is pretty much 1.1. There's like many alter egos, like there's many perspectives come in. No, okay, then no diagnosis of it. Okay, then. But do you believe that sometimes you have a different perspective come through out of nowhere and you're not aware of it? Oh, okay. But okay, good. Because that was the only thing that was making me think, then how can that be? But the thing is, to keep it at the most simplistic level, at the soul level, are you you? Yep, and actually, when you say that, it's true because the mind and the body, they do what they are. Hmm. So then answer me this then. Who has the final say in your life? Who makes the call? Who decides what happens? Even as simple as like, I want to go get an ice cream. I want to go and I feel like I need to go and use the bathroom, so I'm going to go up and use the bathroom. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to go read a book. You have a thought, you make the choice, and you act on it. Who is the one in control? Because the answer has to be the same. Remember, it's always the same. Who is the one that pretty much this physical incarnation started off with? And Ragnar, keep typing out what like everything that you're experiencing and what you're being faced with, while I also give Omnipotent his reading real quick, so that way he won't be sitting here like, "What the heck, man? What about me?" So yeah, keep typing your thing out, and I'll get to you in a second. So the things that are holding you back from getting your powers. So first and foremost, number one is covet. So essentially, when it comes to obtaining spiritual power, there's something you're kind of that you've been longing to obtain, but have not obtained it yet. You kind of become a little bit animalistic when you see the same thing being carried out by somebody else that's in front of you, or you know of carried out or demonstrating it, and you think, I need that because I've been working to obtain this. I need it now, and I'm deserving of it. Because in this depiction, you kind of see Lilith kind of sprawled out with her two arms, and it's coming from like a body of a sea monster, and she's kind of like ready to pounce on you. So there's this embodiment of like, this is mine. I've been working hard to get this. Give me it now, damn it. And the best way to counteract that is actually the way of empowerment of the self. That being, you don't need to covet for something if you're already acting at your best. And the thing is, only you know when you're acting and working from your best viewpoint. And to be at your best viewpoint, you can't be longing or lusting or pretty much being envious of something else that somebody else has. Because at the end of the day, to be honest, you don't need to covet for what somebody has regarding their spirituality, because ultimately you have the same thing too. What you see in somebody else, you actually are able to recognize, so therefore you already have it. You can't have a lack of it if you are able to acknowledge it. Because if you're not able to acknowledge it, how can you not have something if you didn't even know if it existed? Or how can you have something that you didn't know exist? But knowing that you acknowledge its existence shows that you know it exists, therefore you can have it. And you do have it. If that makes sense. I know that sounds paradoxical, but that's the point. Because when you have the ability to have like a vast awareness, and you know about having vast awareness and how vital it is, you already have it. If that makes sense. So there's no need to be envious of somebody else's empowerment when you already know what yours is and you can be working from it. That's one. The second one, reptois, which is a French word for pretty much when something is taking a swing at you, you block and you evade with it. So reptois, essentially, there might be some ideas that are actually you're deflecting away that you may feel like, I don't need to have this perspective. What good is that going to do me? Or I don't need to have somebody else's viewpoint ever come near me because I know what I believe in and I'm going to stick with it. But the thing is, when you stop retoicing it and you accept it, that's when you actually become in a state of being apotheized. Now, apotheized is actually the state of actually being elevated to a divine status. That's what the word means. So, divinity is best understood through a perspective of one outside of you. That's how you can actually encounter divinity. Because when the self, which is also known as man, when man meets woman, other, that's when divinity can form. So when you have the self interact with other, that's how you can actually encounter and experience divinity. So one of the callbacks is deflecting outside ideas and not allowing them to come through. But when you allow them to come towards you and you not deflect them, that's when you can actually ascend much higher and gain more from other perspectives than just the perspective you have. And in this deck, this is the one of two cards out of the whole deck that's actually there's a darker color. This one's actually really having a lot to do with the subconscious. So what you're doing on the like pretty much the mundane influences how your understanding of divinity and being elevated to a higher state of awareness. What you do on the physical and how you allow perspectives to come towards you, or if you're going to be deflecting them, depending on what you do, is going to influence that. And then the last one is Shroud as the pitfall, and the point to recover from Shroud is Safeguard. Now, shrouding something as a defense mechanism can make sense, but when you're shrouding yourself to pretty much make sure that something doesn't get found out, or when you're shrouding yourself because of anxiety or fear, that's a potential pitfall because there's a lack of self reassurance and self confidence. But when you have the corrective measure be Safeguard, acting in a viewpoint where you're in a state where why am I afraid of something when I already know I'm protected and I already know that I can stand for myself and I'm in a position where I can keep myself safe and I didn't rely on anybody else? When you operate from that perspective instead of like I have to keep myself hidden, I don't want this to hit me. I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be affected. I don't want to be afflicted by something. When you operate from the Safeguard viewpoint, you don't have any fear. You don't have any worry of something coming at you and harming you because you're in a viewpoint where you feel unstoppable. If something hits me, okay, whatever, whack it out of the way and push it out of the way, and you still keep going. You don't have any fear or any kind of resistance or any kind of unnecessary blockage affect you. But some things you do have to keep in the shadows, but some things that you have been keeping veiled may not need to be as veiled. But make sure that if you're keeping something secretive, make sure it's not also being in like it's not being indirectly shown as like a weakness, if that makes sense. Because you can have something be shrouded that you don't want the world to be aware of, and if you over shroud it, it actually might draw attention to it, and it can actually make it be revealed as a point of weakness, and you don't want that to be exposed to anybody, if that makes sense. And one more card decided just to come out for whatever reason. And the extra card is Animalist. So really act pretty much in a way that is for your own pleasure. Act in a way that makes you feel satisfied at the fundamental foundational level, which is the 3D primal level. So act in a way that makes you feel like, I'm really feeling myself. Like I'm feeling like the primal level. Like acting from an animalistic point, meaning that you're acting in a way that is satisfying the mundane 3D, like, you know what I'm trying to say, the more earthly and the more animalistic side. Focus on satisfying that, and then everything else will fall into place. So, mainly more of a lot less fear or having any kind of association with being a lack of something. But I mean, if you can handle all that, you'll be golden. At least that's what I say. Yeah. Okay, let me see. So, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Um, Ragnar. Then I have one question for you, and then Art B is up next. Okay, let's see. Okay, so ancestral. Okay, so let me see. What would that be? Give me. Okay, we'll use that one. So Ragnar, one first question regarding that. Does that being that that's messing with you, the being, does it happen to have a name? Do you happen to know if it has a name or not? And Art B. Favorite deck's the Ghosty Turret. So what are the two beings' names? And then Ragnar. Just tell me what the two names are. Okay, and Art B. Let's see what the ancestrals have to say altogether. Phil and Carl. Okay. Because by the end of this live stream, because there's one thing, by the end of this live stream, Ragnar, I'm gonna really hope to try and help you figure out a way to get these two twatheads to piss it and stop acting out of line. Just to keep the names there. I'll find a way to do it. Oh, and by the way, question: Are those two individuals, Vivar and Carl, by any chance are they dead? Did they used to be humans or people, but now they're dead? They're long dead, so they are dead. They are dead human beings then, right? I hope they're. Oh, oh, oops. Oh, oopsie doopsie. By any chance, do you happen to know the lovely dark goddess Hell? Do you happen to know who Hell is, right? Okay, so RB. Yes. Yeah, and splendid. And you know how Hell is, right? Having supreme rulership and authority 100% over all the dead. If it kicks the bucket, she has the full final say with them. Meaning that even if a Valkyrie goes to pick up an Aaron jar after battle. They try and take off to Valhalla with it. If Hel wants to, she can go drop it, and they would have to drop it, and then she can take it. But she doesn't do that. That's how much power and authority over the dead she has. That's how much authority she has. And Odin gave it to her. Hel has full authority over all the dead. Odin gave her that right when she was given Helheim from Odin. So with that in mind, so tell me, Vifal and Carl, would you like to actually have Hel come up and put you two in check? Because if anything, hi Ivy. If anything, I think Hel is going to be all like, what the fuck are you two doing? Get the back down to Helheim now, you two. Now, no, now. Come on, let's go. Well, I mean, well, there's help for you. I mean, when the dead get out of line, when the dead think they're hot shit like that, like, okay, hey, Hel, I have two live ones for you that escaped. Oh, God fucking damn it. Why the hell are you guys, no pun intended, why are you out of Helheim? Why'd you escape? Did you get permission? No, you didn't. Get your old raggedy asses back down there before, I pull you by your, old geezer hair. Oh, well. Oh, so they're envious of you then? Well, oh well, life sucks. Oh well. Oh, not you. I'm not swinging at you, Rector. I'm using the Ghost Tarot, and I'm just waiting for the right card to come out for a reading for where'd it go? For RB. So tell me, what does RB's yeah. Oh, okay. Because as long as I'm not, swinging at you, Raktar, as you individually, I'm not. What I'm swinging at are the beings that are messing with you. Because last time I checked, I don't think they have a right to that body because if they weren't there before. So what makes them think they have the right to mess with it? Who gave them the okay? Who said that that was a good idea? Do they want Hell to come in and fix it for them? So anyway, for oh good. Since you didn't give consent, then pretty much they're pretty much acting out of line. So they have the right to be table flipped on. Please no, they say. Well then, okay then. But then they need to know this. So if they don't want me to table flip on them, so maybe they should do the right thing and stop being a twat. I mean, if they want me to give them mercy, they have to actually demonstrate it themselves. They have to prove to me why should I give them mercy based on how they've been treating you. If they want mercy, okay, show me them. Show me why I should give them mercy then. I mean, it's fair and just. So anyway. Mm-hmm. With his will or against his will? Well, okay. For Artie's question for guidance and the ancestors. Ragnar's body moves a lot. Does he have something like Parkinson's disease or any kind of neurological disorder where he has struggles with his body. Wow. So, hold that thought, Ragnar. Hold that thought. So, Art B. Well, I'm just going to say this, and if you happen to have been in my live streams before, whenever I say the following that's going to come after this explanation, you know it's good. So, anyway. So, Art B, I got the card that says, fuck this deck. Nope, I quit. Fuck this deck. If you know what that means, then you know, oh shit, something good came out. Yep, you're correct. So then give me. Okay. Well, dang. Oh, that's nice. Well. Well, imagine that. Okay, so let me scooch this. Let me play Tetris a little bit. So. So what has to kick the bucket then? Well, that's a given. What remains then? Well. So, let's take this from the tippity McTop. So, Art B, here we go. Boy, you're going to get a kick out of this one. So, Art B, currently how you stand based on what the ancestrals have to say. Currently, they're saying you're overburdening yourself. You're putting so much expectation on yourself that you're crippling yourself. And what you're crippling yourself about is essentially you operating at your best and being able to be at your best in all regards and being able to be a spiritual figure that can mend any affliction and being able to also give the purest devotion to whichever you deem fit. You're expecting yourself of this flawless and perfect state of being, and you're being too harsh on yourself about it. Because with this, which is also my card, Queen of Cups, yeah, whatever. Fuck this deck. In order for you to act and be in this state of the Queen of Cups, it happens by itself, naturally. Meaning that when you're able to give your purest out to another, a divine, a spiritual practice, or towards creating something, that level of devotion, so pure and committed that you can't misdirect it, you can't afflict it, you can't misguide it, you can't even do anything to it because it's that pure and it's that fixated. You're holding so much to yourself to be in that position that you're actually shooting yourself in the foot, because to be at that perfect state, you're just it naturally. It comes naturally. So if you're expecting yourself to always be at this devoted, pure, flawless state of being all the time, as admirable as that is, that's very difficult to have happen, because just like the tides, some days are good, bad, whoop, face plant. It's never going to be constant. So instead, just know that you have that potential in you, and when it comes out, enjoy it the most that you can with it. And also, when you're in that high devoted state, that is the perfect time to get a cup of water and have it full of water. And when you're in that high devoted, committed, and perfect state, that's when you actually breathe into the water, and then you freeze that water. And then whenever you feel down or depressed, you get a cup, you take out that frozen water, you melt a little bit, you get some pieces of that water, like some of the ice from it. You put it in the cup. You fill it up with water. You drink the water with the frozen water of that other water you froze that you pretty much blew into when you were at your best state. So whenever you're down, whenever you drink from that water that's frozen, you're going to be put back into that high devoted state. So pretty much when you're down, that same state you can actually use to heal yourself and mend yourself. Yeah, I know. Pretty like, whoa. I know. This is what happens when you practice for a long time. You have your ins and outs. So keep that in mind. So the cause of you trying so hard to be into the state is the Ten of Blades. Essentially, having the harsh reality of having to stick a blade and overkill the Five of Pentacles, being left out in the cold, or in this case, pretty much being exiled, or having this feeling that you have to turn your back on what's not providing you security or wealth, and instead moving on forward. Hong Kong Fooey straight ahead, and if anything gets in the way, move it out of the way. Which, in fact, the Chariot does go with the Queen of Cups too, because why not? You have to be able to understand to let go of things that are being nothing but a burden. And as much as it hurts, sometimes you have to go, I'm sorry, Old Yeller. Pull the gun and, off it goes. As dark as that sounds, but still. If it slows you down, you have to get rid of it. But then when you get rid of that feeling of like, I'm not worthy for this, or or I don't feel safe and secure, I'm stuck. Once that gets kicked the bucket, you have the Chariot going Hong Kong Fooey. And because since there's also a whip in this depiction, you actually get the motivating love tap, to best put it, to best explain it. So make sure that you have whatever holding you back, gets the bucket kicked on it. So that way you have full speed ahead behind you, pushing you forward. Behind you, or pretty much behind you, or who's backing you up, is she who's not having it. The Queen of Sass, Queen of Swords. She who's pissed. She who's ready to tell you, listen, kid, either you get going or I'm going to poke you with this pointy thing in the tush. So make your choice, love. Let's go or let's go. So, this can go one of two ways. Number one, you have a figure in your life that is pretty much telling you, listen, kid, you need to be doing this, you deserve this, you're going to get this, and that's how it's going to be, so let's get up and do it now, or you're going to do it. Being like a supporting character, and whenever you give BS out, she's not going to take lightly to it and think, okay, no. And she gets extra pushy with you. Or essentially, there was a figure that was too harsh and critical. Now is actually able to understand and see that, wow, you have promise. I'm going to support you in this cause and actually help you move forward and give you realistic support advice, because now you have water and air, which actually makes ice, believe it or not. So you have a figure backing you up who's able to give you emotional intelligence and being able to give you logical, realistic ideas to help you get to the route you need to go to. On top of your head is the Ace of Solo Cups, meaning that essentially on top of your head, you have immense potential to actually gain a cup of knowledge and restoration. And that's the best thing that can come out of all this. So you can actually be nourished in all sectors, again, with the Queen of Cups again, because why the heck not? You can actually rejuvenate yourself repeatedly with this same cup if you know how to use it. And I just told you how to use it. And coming right for your face, coming face bound, is she with a big stick and ready to brandish it, Queen of Wands. 3 queens right in a row. In the past, the middle, and then now coming towards your head. So coming towards you is a figure that's actually going to be kind of like even more motivating you in this. Having 3 queens, you have 3 points of water. You have water and air, water and water, and water and fire. So really, you have 3 elements. The only element that you don't have in this whole spread, it looks like, is earth. So Really, all that needs to be done is to actually take the physical actions to getting you this divine feeling, which by then could be like doing the ritual of like whenever you're at your best state, get a cup of water, breathe into it, freeze the water, and whenever you feel down or if you're just like ugh, get that frozen water out, break off some pieces of the ice, get another cup of water, put a piece of that ice into that water, let it sit a little bit, then drink the water, and you'll be rejuvenated. That's more of the earth way because you're taking the physical steps to actually have the state come back to life in you. But coming towards you, actually might have another figure be more inspirational than the Queen of Swords, who's more like logical. Or you might feel more inspired after me blabbing on about this stuff to actually go Hong Kong Fooey face first about all this stuff, and you're more eager to face the things that come ahead. Oh, I love it. So, three more cards that came out is the Seven of Wands. You might at first feel like, oh God, I was eager and ready for all this, and now what have I got myself into? But don't forget, you're also the magician. You have all the elements at your disposal. Use them wisely, and you're the one in control. Because after that, when you use the elements correctly, you do put everything in your deemed fit and will. You become the Grim Reaper, and then you pretty much get all these ghosts by the neck and go, "Come on, boys, we're going to be putting you into the ghost pig pen," I guess. But essentially, you'll be operating from a point where you're in control, and you don't have anything blocking you or pretty much leading you down the route where you don't want to be. So remember, you might be facing a lot, but remember, you're in control. And if you handle it correctly, you could be the one being like, "Aha! And I got the reins on all you twatheads," instead of them messing with you. So overall, the ancestors and the past owners saying, "Hey, don't be hard on yourself. You have essentially the water element at your disposal. Use it to your advantage, and don't let anything slow you down that doesn't need to be there. And pretty much live the life that you want to live on your terms only, because it is your life. You make the call. You have the final say. Nobody else." So now back to Rector. Okay, now Rector. Okay, so let me see. So Rector. Oh no, Rector left. No. Oh, I hope Rector will come back. I hope Rector will come back because okay, good, good because I will wait even if I get annoyed waiting for so long. I will wait for him to come back because that's one thing I absolutely detest. Oh, you're dead, huh? Oh, you're gonna be messing with someone who is still alive? Really? Why? Shouldn't you be resting in peace? No? Okay. Why? Why are you hissy fitting and coming back from the dead? Don't you want to be at a rest instead of hissy fit? I mean, what are you gonna gain from hissy fitting? If anything, you're gonna have hell come by and say, "Look, you really think you can get out of Helheim like that, huh? Wow. Okay. Okay, whatever you say, you dumb twathead. No, 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 no. Ugh. Ugh. Mm. Actually, I have a good idea. I have an idea. This will be good. Here, hand me that stone, if you would, and hand me that one. Yeah, give me. That's not even a stone. Give me one more stone. that to work. Okay, well, maybe it might be in here. No, definitely don't need that one. That's not the time for that one, or that one. Do not need that for anything else. Definitely don't need that one. Fine. Fine, give me a lappy then. Come here then. Let me check, double check, make sure I didn't miss it. Whoop. Oh, there it is. Okie dokie. So, from the Goetia. Where the heck did you come from? I'll take you anyway. His name is Marbas. Marbas. He has the head of a lion. Yes, Kayla. What do you want? What do you want me to look into? And while I have the names here, while we wait for him to come back, I'm gonna do something to both of these twat heads. Let's see here. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Who's going to be the first one to go? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. You're going to be the dope that gets the one that's going to get the hoe to the head hoe. Okay. And I'm actually going to use this thing to my advantage. Yeah, just to be safe. Okay. And do you want me to clarify that you should be doing? Actually, to be honest, I don't like calling it witchcraft because it's occult science, to be honest. So, do you want clarification for you to be doing occult science? Okay. And do you want like verification that it's a good idea? Ah, okay. Goody. Okay, fine, just the one then. Fine. Well, um, so here's the card that came out. Emergence, which is my first artwork piece. So I don't know how else to tell you this. This is pretty much saying, duh, go for it, do it. And you'll have Lilith backing you up in it. Because I mean, the first card depicting my first artwork of Lilith emerging into existence. Yeah, I take that as a yes, definitely. And you have her backing you up in it. So have at it, go wild, and do it how you want to do it. Do it as you deem fit. And if somebody else says, "Well, you need to do this," you wish. I do what I want. You don't like it? Oh, too bad. Oh well, you have your own life. Worry about you. I want to learn some of the darker magics, but you want to learn some of the baneful stuff. Oh, that's going to come back threefold. Whatever you say. Yeah, whatever you say. Bullshit. You're going to regret it. Nope, I'm not going to regret it. The only thing I'm going to regret is listening to you and going by what you have to say. That's the only regret I'll have. Mm-hmm. Learn and do whatever you want to do. Somebody doesn't like it. Woe is Adam. Not your problem. Do what you deem fit and flaunt it. So, yes, but in a way that is by your choice and your standards and what you want to do and learn. Because really, it's your life. You make the call. If somebody comes in Hong Kong first saying, "Oh, you shouldn't do that," "Oh, that's so bad," you shouldn't be doing that. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa is everywhere. Don't let other people control you and stop you from you learning what you want to learn. And heck, I mean, if you go to learn something and if you practice it and if it explodes in your face, well, I mean, you have more accountability and be like, well, that was my fault and I learned. And now you learn more from it. Because there's always something to gain if you make a big catastrophic oopsie doopsie. You've already learned not to do something that way, so we'll do something else a different way. So, yes, definitely, 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 yes. But at your own accord, you make the call and how you go about it. That's what I have to say, Caleb. Yes, practice the occult, but you go about it in the way that you want to go about it. If somebody says, well, you need to learn herbalism. Oh, okay, well, you need to learn how to piss it and stick it because this is my way of practice and not yours. So, oh well. And definitely don't let somebody else say, well, you can't do that because that's closed. What do you mean that's closed? Oh, you can't work with Lilith because she's closed. And true story, I hear people say that all the time. You can't work with the goddess Lilith because she's closed. Since when? But there you go. There you go, Lev. Perfecto. Yes. Yes, Riv. I'd be more than happy to do that. Give me just a second. But yeah, Caleb. If somebody tries to stop you, say, well, you can't do that because that's closed. Oh, really? I can't work with Lilith because she's quote unquote closed? Who are you to tell me that she's closed or not? And by the way, for a fun fact, if you're saying Lilith is closed, you're kind of in a way also restricting her from doing what? Baal led mean? What do you mean by Baal led? Because I've never heard of that terminology before in that manner. But if you're trying to say, like for example, Lilith is a closed practice, oh, bay leaf. Well, it depends. Like, what are you planning on using bay leaf for? Because a plant is a plant, and by nature, bay leaf as a plant is known to be blessed by. It's been used by the Oracle of Delphi to have visions for Apollo. It's for purification. It's also a wish granting leaf, and it also works exceptionally well with other plants that are able to engage into a alternative viewpoint, such as blue lotus, clary sage, even jasmine if you want to be technical. Cannabis is another one. So essentially, bay leaf is good for for visionary work, prophetic work, but it's also good for maintaining and purifying a space in an area and keeping things at a higher vibrational viewpoint, if that makes sense. But definitely do things how you want to do them. If something connects with you, then good. Flaunt it and work it. If somebody says you can't do that because it's closed, tell them, oh, well, you can't tell me what I can and can't do because this is my practice, not yours. And my practice for myself is closed. So, yeah. Because, like on the Lovely Act app TikTok, I hear people say, and people have told me, you can't work with Lilith because she's closed and you're not Jewish. Cupcake. Honey Bear. Here's the thing. Lilith is not Jewish, for one. Two, who are you to tell me who I can and can't work with? Three, you think I'm going to listen to somebody out of the blue randomly, just like that? No. And who are you to tell me what I can and can't do, Cupcake? And if you're trying to say that Lilith is closed, you don't know what a closed practice is, hon. A closed practice is something like Santeria, voodoo, stuff and practices you have to be initiated into by a high priest. And when you get initiated into stuff like that, you cannot practice anything else. Yeah, you can't practice anything else. You have to stick with Santeria if you're initiated into it. That's what happens when you get initiated. You're stuck with it. That's how it is. So don't tell me that Lilith is closed because you think I'm going to be closing people off? Who are you to tell me what I'm doing and not doing, love? Oh, and come on now. Why would me closed? Just because I'm selective doesn't mean I'm closed. No. Seriously, that's what I deal with on TikTok most of the time. So, Shrelvitson P. For the reading, for guidance for the month, give me to them. Okay, we have the first one. So, Shrivelsome. The two cards that came out. Venture and Solitary. So, for this month of October, you'll be exploring avenues or subjects or encounters that are actually going to be taking you to an experience that you have not yet had, or you're going to be exploring something that you are not familiar with. But however, though, in order for you to fully explore these ventures, you have to go at them by yourself. You have to experience them all on your own to best get their full effect and message from them. Meaning that you have to be willing to understand that this is for you only and nobody else. And you may not be able to have somebody accompany you, and this can be even discovering yourself. You may not have the opportunity to have someone come along with you to accompany you. Or you might be having to go on a pilgrimage by yourself, and you may have to face the world or something on your own. As daunting and scary as that is, it's also at the same time you being able to test what you have learned and see how well it stands. And after this testing period, you can see what works, what doesn't work, and you keep what works and you fling out the window what doesn't work. So this month, be prepared to go and experience things that you're not familiar with and gain more insight on them. But be prepared that you're going to be facing it all on your own. But despite you facing it alone, that's no sign to be afraid of it. It's actually a sign for you to be confident and take what you have gained in the past behind you and bring it and to support you through it. That's going to be coming towards you by yourself. Use everything you've learned to help you get through these discoveries and take in whatever you encounter and what you gain from and incorporate it later on down the line. So you have a lot of growth that's coming about. Just be prepared that whatever you face, you're the one that's in control and you have to make the call. And you don't have anybody else for giving you advice, because this is mainly what I'm getting for your own growth. Just yours. Nobody else's, only yours. And you're the one that has the full 100% stamp of authority to decide how that happens. So be prepared and enjoy it, but don't be afraid. Pretty much go all in with all your chips. Go in 100% and don't be afraid of anything. Quadruple down if you have to, which technically isn't a real thing you can do in poker, but you get the idea. So go Hong Kong Fooey, enjoy your new experiences, and even though you're alone, and it's a good time to test to see what you have learned, to see if it was really real or if it was a bunch of BS. So now, let me have this again. Okay, so we have decided it's going to be that guy first. Okay, so let me pretty much be the harsh disciplinarian real quick, because oh boy, I'm not really going to be nice to this one. So give actually, oh, may I? Well, point being is I kind of, need to teach these two, yeah, Hanky and Panky. I kind of think they need to be taught a harsh lesson on what happens when you kind of sneak out of Helheim and kind of torment somebody for whatever stupid reason. Yeah, I'm not doing it just to, harm them because, they kicked the bucket, but to kind of give them a reality check on what happens when they act out of line for no justified reason. But if you do not want me to do so, then I will not. Okay, goody. Thank you, Shradon. Thank you for that. How much? Besides, how much is that anyway? And what currency is that? Because I don't even know what currency that is. But anyway, so the first guinea pig. Okay, here's a better idea. I have a better idea. That one, then we go like so. Oh, I didn't know what currency that was, honestly. So now that I know, okay. Okay, so let me see. Where that? Then we're gonna go like Oh, there we go. That one's nice and easy. Okie dokie. So let's go like this. Okie dokie. So now let me just get this thing activated. And for those of you that are curious about like what I'm doing is I'm essentially making a focus point for those two. And yeah, So whatever I do to this symbol, or this little quickly drawn thing from their name, whatever I do to it will actually affect them as if, directly. So we'll go. Okay, but there's one of them. I'll just call him Hanky. There's Hanky. And now we'll do the one for Panky. So we got, wow. Okay, go like this and then like that. Then we're gonna go like this. Then we're gonna go like that. And then we're gonna go, then plop. I really don't need to have all this extra room. I'm gonna rip that out. Oh, nice try though. Nice try, love. You almost had me rip it and have to start over. Nice try, but you whipped it. Okay, there we go. Just put that there like that. Okay, dokie. So now, Hanky, sit there. Hanky, come here. Okay, so now we gotta go like this. Oh, almost. Sorry, Hanky. Sorry. You almost had me rip it. Almost, but you gotta be quicker than that. Oh. Whiff it. Yeah. If you're wondering what the heck is he going on about, well, in a way, I'm also, making these two beings that are tormenting someone. I'm kind of making them like a joke. So now I have these two symbols representing those two twat heads going after. I keep forgetting his name. Here, scooch that out of the way. Rakdar. Let's go back. Yeah, let me go back. Where is his name? Ragnar. Okay, Ragnar. Okay, good. So now I have these two symbols representing each of these beings that's unjustly harming Ragnar. So time to have fun with this. And I'm going to use my spirit box at the same time. So I'm going to plop this thing right there. I'm going to drop my spirit box right on top of it. So I'll play nice. I'll start off nice at first. So I'm going to put this there. I'm going to hold that one. Okay, dokie. So let's let this nonsense begin. Okay then. What was his name again? Oh, good. I can be really obnoxious with this one. Carl. Oh, Carl. Oh yeah, I am gonna have fun with them. Because the thing is, when you have entities or beings that actually are causing harm to someone or acting malefic or baneful, the minute you start making them look like a joke and you start mocking them and trolling them and swinging at them and making fun of them or taking them as a joke, they lose power. They get weaker. So, Carl, oh Carl, yoo-hoo. Carl from Johnny Bravo. Johnny. Yeah. Yeah, that nerdy guy from Johnny Bravo. Yeah. That says a lot about you, Carl. Wow, nerd. Nerd. Carl, you nerd. Now you can see why Johnny Bravo never liked you, Carl, because you're too much of a nerd. And you always had the door slammed on you. But anyway, so Carl, come here, would you? Yoo-hoo, Carl, yoo-hoo. Oh, Carl, Carl. Speak, Carl. Yes, Carl. Hi. Hey, sit. Now, hey, honey, I thought you would know not to, be rude. Don't be rude in my space, please. Yes, I called you, but sit still. Sit. Tushy down. Listen. What's the big deal? Why are you harming Ragnar? Tell me why. I didn't. Did I stutter? I said you're not going to interrupt me. You got it? Good. Why are you bothering Ragnar? What's the big deal? That's a question. That's a question. I expect an answer. One. Okay. Okay then. So why are you bothering Ragnar? If you just tell me, you can make this a lot more easier and quicker and probably less painful. So if you just tell me, be easier. What? Can you say that again? Except I'll whack you. I'll whack you again. Keep it up, hon. Why are you harming Ragnar? Stop it. I can be really mean if you want me to. Don't push me, Cupcake. And besides, don't embarrass yourself. You're in front of a live studio audience. Don't embarrass yourself. So tell me, why are you harming Ragnar? That's a question. I'm going to give you two options. Is either you tell me, or I'm going to start doing stuff to your symbol and it's going to hit you in the head. Which one is it going to be, Cupcake? Make your choice. One. If you don't choose, I'll choose for you. That's not an answer. Why are you bothering Ragnar? One. Two. Because once I say the next number, no matter what you say, you're still going to get whacked. Okay. But does that give you a right to harm him and bother him? No, it doesn't. That's not a good reason to harass someone, even if they're not. Don't speak. I'm talking. That doesn't give you a right to harass someone who's still alive. And so what if Odin favors him and not you? So what? Deal with it. Maybe that should have given you an incentive to actually, do something to actually have Odin look at you and favor you. Sit down. I don't care how you feel. I don't care if you're upset. Life sucks. Deal with it. You're making the choice to harm Ragnar. You're making the choice to harm Ragnar. I'm going to tell you one last time. You pull that again, you're going to wish you didn't. You're making the choice to harm Ragnar. Okay, Cupcake. Okay, nope. You pushed it. Hand me Fathom. Hand me Fathom. Wait. Well, not Phantom. Hand me, what's that thing called? There's one thing I'm looking for. I hope you better stay put, Cupcake, because you're going to wish you didn't do what you did. Nope, since you won't listen to me, well, we're going to make you listen. Nope, I warned you, but you had to be a smartass. So, hey, don't speak. Don't speak. You had your chance to speak, and you had your chance, but now you blew it. So you're gonna get it to the tush. Nope, nope. Sorry, Cupcake. I told you, and I gave you a chance. But did you listen? Of course not, because you're too much of a twat. Hand me. There we go. Got it. Now I'm gonna go over here. Give me this. Don't speak. Don't speak. Aw. And for those of you that don't know what this is actually the knife. Stick it. This is actually the blade that's sitting on in hell space, and it's actually properly named Famine. Yes. So, Carl, I warned you. Carl, I warned you to be quiet and, to not be a twithead. You didn't listen, so you get to learn the hard way. I warned you. You didn't listen. So, oh, oops. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. Well, I don't know what I don't know what to tell him. He should have kept his mouth shut. Oops. Now he's stuck on Hammond. Hey, don't look at me. I try to, be hospitable and try to, figure out what's going on. And I mean, if he was, not a twathead, maybe we could have figured out and worked something out. Or, done something to actually help get him satisfied, along with Ragnar being free of it. But did he listen? Of course not. So guess what? He's stuck on famine. So, Carl, you're now stuck on the blade. And you're going to be stuck on there until I feel you're deemed fit to come off of it. Nope, you don't get that choice. Nope, sorry, you don't get the choice. Sorry, hey, maybe you shouldn't have been the prick. Don't speak. And I don't care. Okay, so there's one. Okay, there's one that's on famine. Next. Next. Let me just plop that right there. So what's this twat's name? So after Carl is Vifil. So Vifil. Vifil. Is that how you pronounce it? Vifil. Vifil. That's your name. Okay. Oh, Vifil. The other twathead that's with Carl, causing harm to Ragnar for whatever reason they think it's okay to. Vifil, do me a favor. Would you come here, please? And by come here, please, mean get over here right now, you twathead. Oh, Vifil, would you come towards me and sit? I didn't ask you to do anything else. I asked you to come hither and sit. Because take a look what happened to Carl. Yeah, he's stuck on the blade. Famine. Do you want to be stuck on the blade too? I hope not. So let's make this simple. Cupcake. That's exactly what happened to Carl. And what? Do you want to be put on the blade too? I haven't even started. Okay. Blade it is. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, nope, nope. I thought you would have learned from Carl's mistake, but okay. Looks like the Phil gets put on the blade too. Oh. Well. Now they're both on the blade. The blade of famine. Well, I tried. They didn't listen, so on to the blade they go. So I'm just going to wrap the blade back up, and I'm going to put it back in the house space, and then I'll let her handle the rest of it. They throw a big hissy fit. Well, oh, I'm so sorry. Maybe you should have, used your head and listened and stopped speaking. Oops. And no. And for educational, you know, reasons, essentially that is exactly what you have to do whenever you're encountering or interacting or speaking with an entity or being in your space that's acting out of line and hissy fitting. You don't let them do as they please and disrespect you. And when they do disrespect you, you make it known that, hey, Cupcake, you're not going to do that, okay? And if they don't listen, okay, well, they don't listen, so they need to have a consequence for not listening. In this case, now they're stuck on Hell's Blade, left there to hang for all eternity. Idiots. Oops. Well, I don't know what to say, but maybe they should have stuck it and listened. I mean, heck, it's not that hard. The things could have been much more differently, but no, we have to, think we're hot shit and, not listen. Okay. All right. Don't blame me. They were the ones who were dim-witted. Even the very first one. The first one I was actually, giving some leeway to. The other one, nope, he had an example before him. So he should have, should have paid attention to be like, oh crap, he's not going to have if I misbehave, so I better be on my best behavior. Oops. Oh well. But in all seriousness, that's really how you have to be when you're interacting with spirits and beings. You have to be no nonsense, and when they disrespect your boundary or disrespect your being, and if worst and thing is, you call them to your space and they're acting out of line in your space, you don't let that fly. You let them know that, hey, Cupcake, you can come into my space and think it's okay to act like this? Really? Really? You must be stupid. Because here, guess what? You're now getting a big whack to the tush. I mean, if these spirits really wanted to be on the new Jackass movie, I mean, couldn't they have tried it in a better and different way? But what do I know? So, well, I kind of wish Ragnar was in here to actually witness that, because probably he would be having a ball game like, oh my gosh. But in reality, like whenever you're dealing with a haunting or any kind of spiritual activity, including like a poltergeist or what have you, that is exactly how you need to approach it and go at it, just like you would as any other person who's hissy fit in your home or just throwing a hissy fit out in wherever. You're out in public, minding your own business, and then you encounter somebody throwing a big hissy fit for whatever reason. Like for example, oh god, it's a ghost Karen. Oh god, a ghost Karen. Oh, she's acting out of line now. She's coming right at me. Oh gosh, now she's table flipping at me. Oh god, why? Well, what would you do if you had a Karen going Hong Kong Fooey at you face first and table flipping on you? Well, I don't know about you, but if a Karen was table flipping at me, I mean, I'd just be point blank and honest and just tell her, listen, Cupcake, if you're wanting me to make you feel important, I'm not the person to make you feel important, because the only way of importance I'm going to give you is to show the whole world. You see this? You see this Karen who's hissy fitting and table flipping about something so pathetically, impractical over a thing of a size of a fry container? You see how much she's hissy fitting about that? Yeah, it's pathetic, I know. You see what she's doing? Don't be like her, please. She's a perfect example of what not to do. So don't embarrass yourself and be like this big mistake, please. Yeah, that's how I would go about it. But that's the same thing. You treat the spirits and the other beings on the other side, the astral beings, you treat them as you would another person. Because they really are equal to you. They can't exist without you, and you need them in order to exist for guidance. So it's a equal balanced give and take, equilibrium thing that goes on. But because of that, that doesn't mean that you can be a twithead to them just to be a twithead, and you can't be, and they can't be, out of line, harming somebody for no reason without real justification that actually is, practical and can be agreed upon, like negotiated and the whatnot. And no, being envious of somebody having another divine being's favor, I'm sorry, okay, that's not enough. That's like, oh wow, you guys are how old and you've kicked the bucket and you're how old and you should know not to be envious and understand you should use that as your motivation instead. You're using that as your grounds to harass someone? No, honey, that's not the point of, having envy. If anything, that should be your inspiration to do better, to get that being's favor instead. I mean, what do I know? I mean, I don't have a doctrine in this stuff. I don't. But that kind of makes sense. Let let whichever has whatever you're desiring and pursuing, let that be what inspires you to obtain it yourself. And you work on obtaining it that way, doing what you can to earn it. And once you put in the work and the effort and you get recognized for it and you obtain it, there you go. Get it, take it, flaunt it, and there you go. But no. Excuse me. I don't know, seriousness. Things should not have to be that difficult and impractical and just mind-bogglingly, just like, what? Things should not have to be like that. Ever. But even in the spirit world and the spiritual side, the other side of the astral, be it the dead, passed on, the divine, the fae, what have you, stupidity is on all levels of awareness, from mankind to the divine. Stupidity runs amok in all of them. Stupidity runs amok in all of them. So it really sucks for Carl and Bill over there, being stuck on the tip of famine. Just wasting away again. Up again. Should have spoken. You should have, spoken when I asked you to. But you didn't listen, so onto the spikes you go. Whoopsie doopsie doo. And honestly, I mean, I usually don't like being like that. In a viewpoint, in a behavior, or acting in a way that's a little bit, pushy and aggressive and table flippy. I don't like being like that, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to, keep the order in check. But I mean, now they can actually answer to help. Wow, it's already been 2 hours? Wow. Time flies when you're putting up with stupidity. Yeah, you two over there on the spike. I really hope Ragnar somehow comes back quickly or sometime. Or hopefully he'll see the replay of all this and be like, wow, dang. Mm-hmm. That's how I operate for these things. No nonsense, no BS, and woe is Adam if one of them decides to be in the Jackass movie or tries to try out for it. I'm just no nonsense. Well, the spirits, well, since they're stuck there, they're actually going to be experiencing the lack of nourishment, famine. So pretty much they're experiencing the lack of any kind of nourishment and actually being exposed to being afflicted with things that are of the spiritual that are pretty taxing, if that makes sense. So on the spiritual side, they might feel neglected. They might feel like their ancestry has turned their back on them, for an example. They might feel like their current lineage is looking back at them and say, "Wow, what a bunch of mistakes." That's the best way I can put it. But yeah, I mean, they're being starved right now, and the cares I have are next to none. And there's no such thing as too long, to be honest. Because I mean, the way that I look at it, to be honest, if hell was to tell me to take them off the blade at any time, of course I'll listen to that and I'll do that. But for me, I feel like they need to understand and learn their lesson from causing harm to someone for an unnecessary reason. So they can learn their lesson and kind of atone from it, and and learn the hard way of their misbehavior. And honestly, like I said, I really don't like being like that towards spirits or beings. I really don't. But sometimes things have to be done the way that they have to be done in order to actually get someone not, being unjustly treated by them for whatever BS reason that they can come up with. And besides, if they're that old too, don't you think they would kind of know for certain not to? But then again, what do I know? You can say sorry all you want. I'm not changing. I'm not moving you. The more you keep crying, the longer you're going to be sitting there. Don't be woe is me when it was actually you who caused the harm in the first place.